Shabbat Shalom, Israel. Welcome again to Watchmen of the Faith Ministries. My name is Kasada Ba, and I want to finish off this series here on Leviticus, the 16th chapter. I'm talking about Azazel, okay, that is talked about in the book of Leviticus or Vayikra, the 16th chapter, the 8th verse, because where it says scapegoat, again, I'm reading from the 1611 King James Version Bible, and on the right of my book where it says scapegoat, there's a cross, and it has in Hebrew Azazel. And so what I'm trying to do is to explain in its entirety what does the word Azazel mean. And according to the scriptures, keep in Leviticus the 16th chapter in its proper order, the word Azazel means to transfer. And what we have done, or what's being done here, is that Aaron, who is the acting priest because the Messiah is the high priest, all right? So we know that the Messiah destroyed that whole priesthood thing where every year a priest would have to make an atonement for himself, his household, then for the nation of Israel. We know that all of that was alluding to the Messiah, all right? So now, again, we have Aaron with these two goats. One goat was going to atone for the sins of the nation of Israel, and the other goat, which was Azazel, which is alluded to John the Baptist, was going to be the forerunner for the Messiah, making the pathway straight for the Messiah. Okay, that's very important for us to understand. And I just want to finish up with verse 22, because there's a couple of key things that's happening in 22 that will help us to understand a whole lot clearer that John the Baptist is this scapegoat that's going out into the wilderness. Okay, I'm going to begin with I'm going to begin again with the book of Vayikra, the 16th chapter in 22. And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities into a land not inhabited, and he shall let go the goat into the wilderness. So the first word I want to look up is the word bear, because we have now here, again, this goat is symbolizing John the Baptist or John the Immerser. Now this goat is going to bear the iniquities of the children of Israel and go out into the wilderness. Now, are there any other scriptures that we can find where we see a righteous Zadok bearing the sins for the nation of Israel, which was eventually alluding to the coming of the Messiah? Yes, there is. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, the 4th chapter. Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, and I'm going to read 1 through 6. Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, 1 through 6. And as it reads, Thou also, son of man, take thee a towel, or Adam, which is pertaining to Ezekiel. Thou also, son of man, take thee a towel, and lay it before thee, and portray upon it the city, even Jerusalem, and lay siege against it, and build a fort against it, and cast a mount against it. Set the camp also against it, and set battering rams against it round about. Okay, so this is a prophecy against the nation of Israel, the whole house. Verse 3. Moreover, take thou unto thee an iron pan, and set it for a wall of iron between thee and the city, and set thy face against it. And it shall be besieged, and thou shalt lay siege against it. This shall be a sign to the house of Israel. So where it says the house of Israel here, this is pertaining to northern kingdom. Ezekiel was a prophet ministering to both houses, northern and southern kingdom. And we're going to prove this. Verse 4. Lie thou also upon thy left side. And again, the left side is representing northern kingdom. And lay the iniquity of the house of Israel upon it. According to the number of the days thou shalt lie upon it, thou shalt bear their iniquity. So here again, we see this word bearing the iniquity for the sins of Israel. And who is doing this at this particular time? It's Ezekiel. Now, when you go back into the book of Leviticus, the 16th chapter, the 22nd verse, we have somebody else bearing the iniquity for the children of Israel, which was alluding to the coming of the Messiah, who was John the Baptist. And so now when we go we go up to verse 21, where we see confess and we see the word head, it should be easy now for us to understand that this was all alluding to John the Baptist. John the Baptist is bearing the iniquity of the children of Israel, preparing the way for the Messiah. And again, like I said, we see this event happening again with Ezekiel bearing the iniquity for the children of Israel, ushering in the coming of the Messiah. I'm going to keep reading. I'm back into the book of Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, and I'm at let's read 5 and 6. Let's read, start at verse 5. Excuse me. For I laid upon thee the years of their iniquity, according to the number of the days, 390 days, so shalt thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. So the 390 years is actually representing 390 days that Ezekiel now is going to lay on his left side, okay? And this is a prophecy against northern kingdom. Verse 6, so when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side. So he's now going to bear the iniquity of southern kingdom, because southern kingdom is representing the right side. And when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side, and thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Yehudah 40 days. I have appointed thee each day for a year. And in Hebrew, that would say a day for a day, a day for a year, as it is in the 1611 King James Version Bible here. So again, we see Ezekiel bearing the iniquity for the children of Israel the same way that John the Baptist bare the iniquity for the children of Israel, ushering in the coming of the Messiah. What's going to happen here is that John the Baptist is going to pass the baton over to the Messiah. I'm going to say it again. John the Baptist is going to pass the baton over to the Messiah. And let's prove that. Let's go to the book of Matthew. The book of Matthew, let's go to the 3rd chapter. Let's see how John the Baptist is going to pass this baton over to the Messiah. First, I want to show this. I want to show where both of these lambs here, or both of these goats here, are present before Yahuwah, just the way these two goats were present before the priest, okay? Because lots fell upon each goat, and they were presented alive at one point before the priest. We know that the Messiah is the priest, but we know the chain of command. We understand it's the Father, the Son, and then the man. We understand that chain of command there. So, with that understanding, we can go to the book of Matthew, the 3rd chapter, the 13th verse. Then cometh Yeshua from Galilee to Jordan, and John to be baptized of him. So we have these two goats here at the Jordan River, the Messiah and John the Baptist. But John, or YOHANNAN, forbade the Messiah, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and comest thou unto me? And the Messiah answering and said unto him, suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him. So there was a reason why this was being done, to fulfill all righteousness. Everything has to go in accordance with the law, all of it. The Messiah did not come to do away with the law, but to fulfill every single thing that was written and spoken of him. All of it. This is the reason why I say that the blood of the Messiah touched the altar. If the blood didn't touch the altar, the nation of Israel is still in her sins today. And we're not in our sins. The Messiah died for the sins of Israel. Okay, because the adulterous woman was supposed to die for committing adultery. Now, verse 16. And the Messiah, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens were open, or the Shemayims were open unto him, and he saw the Ruach of the Father descending like a dove and lightning upon him. Verse 17 is very important. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my well-beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. This is the question. Why did Yahuwah make this statement saying, between the two goats, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased? The reason why that is being said, because he's setting the lots between the two goats that's at the Jordan River. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased, is only explaining to us that the Messiah is going to be the goat that's going to atone for the sins of Israel. That's all what that means. The other goat is a forerunner for the Messiah. This goat goes out into the wilderness the way that we are doing today as ministers of the Father and the Son. We're going out into the wilderness, being that light, and the wilderness is only symbolic, meaning that this is a place where Torah is not being taught. It is called a wilderness because anything goes in the wilderness. 2 men can get married, 2 women can get married. All right? All of this sexual perversion goes on here in the wilderness. Mardi Gras. Listen to the music that you listen to, the R&B songs, the rap songs, the way that our men dress, the way that our women dress. All of this can be considered or called a wilderness. All right. So again, I just have to keep reiterating the point because I just want to make sure that it's understood that the wilderness is a place where Torah is not being kept. And again, John the Baptist is going out into the wilderness because he was anointed, and he's going to now tell the children of Israel to repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's all what that means there. Now I want to go to the book of John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Book of John. I'm going to start, YOHANNAN, let's go to chapter 1, verse 19. And this is the record of YOHANNAN, when the Jews, or the Yahudims, sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, Who art thou? Why are so much, so the question should be this. Why are Jews, and these priests, sending men out to ask John the Baptist specific questions? John the Baptist isn't an ordinary guy, is the point that I'm trying to bring out. John the Baptist is of the 8th course of Abijah. His father Zechariah was also of the 8th course of Abijah. These guys are priests. John's rightful place was at Jerusalem. During the time of the Messiah's ministry, the Messiah only recognized the only, priest at that time was John the Baptist. Caiaphas and all those other guys, they were self-appointed by the Romans. It was a buddy thing. You know me, I know him, that's my friend, we grew up together, you can be a priest. And then again, what was going on with the Romans, where they were also appointing priests for the priesthood. But the only one that was still following the order, and we're going to go into that in First Chronicles, the 24th chapter, where it talks about the 24 courses of the priesthood and how it's very important for us to understand the course of Abijah. All right. Now, with that being said, verse 20, and he confessed, which was John the Baptist, he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Messiah. I'm not Yeshua. I'm not him. Because the Jews in Jerusalem, the priests there, they were expecting the Messiah to come. They knew the scriptures very well. But what happened now was that their eyes were blinded by greed, by women, and some of everything else under the sun. So their eyes were blinded. But they did understand the scriptures, knowing that the Messiah was to come. With that, we'll have to say shalom.